Last night in baseball, Cardinals Keep Burleson, Burleson Blasts Yankees. Last night in baseball, Cardinals Keep Burleson, Burleson Blasts Yankees. There is always baseball happening, almost too much baseball for one person to follow themselves. Don't worry, we're here to help you by figuring out what you missed but shouldn't have. Here are all the best moments from last night in Major League Baseball. The Cardinals might have made a few moves on deadline day, but do you know who sent? And that ended up working out for at least one night, as the 27-year-old first baseman was the key to a win over the Yankees.
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for core power and rise to a whole new level of recovery. High-quality protein to build muscle. The nutrition you need to power on.
Ready to order? Scan the QR code now or visit grabdeal.us/10.
Burleson went yard in the top of the first with a two-run homer to give the Cardinals an early lead. Cam Schlittler threw a 97 mph four-seam fastball high in the zone and away, and Burleson just turned on it and pulled the pitch anyway. This one went just 350 feet, but Burleson struck it hard, as it came off the bat at 103.6 mph, and it got out of the ballpark fast. The second blast from Burleson was hit a little further 365 feet, and a little harder 108.3 mph, and came off a different pitcher, too, as Schlittler had been lifted after 3 innings, and Tim Hill was on the mound at this point. While this made it 6-0 Cards, the Yankees' offense woke up afterward and scored 7 unanswered runs between the 5th and 7th innings. Burleson wasn't part of the comeback that put the Cardinals ahead for good, but he delivered the dagger in the top of the 8th. Another 2-run homer, his third of the game, to put scent. This one was a tank, with Burleson drilling a low-end inside slider 418 feet to right field at 109.1 mph off the bat. Reliever Angel Chivilli gave up that dinger, and all 6 runs of the 8th, but that Burleson shot was certainly the loudest of the 3 the 24-year-old allowed. Are the Cardinals out of it, after making some moves and dealing away starting pitcher Dustin May? At 56-57 and just 4 games out of a wild card spot, absolutely not. At least not on nights where Alec Burleson decides to go all out. He's now batting, which would be a career best in all 3 marks. Things didn't go so well for the Yankees despite a 7-run outburst over a few innings, but on the bright side, brand new Yankee Luis Garcia Jr. made his debut with New York, and he delivered. He crushed a changeup at the bottom of the strike zone from George Soriano, 424 feet, for his first dinger on the Yankees. That was Garcia's 24th homer of the season. He might be limited to facing right-handed pitching. But 1, most of the pitchers in the league are righties, and 2, Garcia has been great against them, hitting .29832-8603 with 21 of his 24 homers in those matchups. Like the Cardinals, the Rays would score 13 runs on Monday night, and also because a slugger had a multi-homer game. For Tampa Bay, it was third baseman Junior Caminero, and he went yard twice against the Rockies. Also like Burleson, Caminero got to work right away, launching a 2-run dinger in the top of the first. Michael Lorenzen went middle with a sinker that did not sink nearly enough to fool Caminero, who turned it into his 31st long ball of the season and a 2-0 Rays lead. It was an impressive one, too, at 422 feet, but saved some of the glory for the second Caminero homer of the day. Against reliever Tanner Gordon in the 4th, it was not a good game for the Rockies. Caminero connected on an 88 mph slider way up in the zone, and he sent it into orbit. This dinger had an exit velocity of 112.4 mph and traveled 442 feet to left center. Caminero crushed that pitch. He's now batting, with 32 homers, good for 4th in the majors and 2nd in the AL behind MLB leader Yordan Alvarez. The Rays would win 13-9, with Colorado scoring 7 runs in the last few innings, but also allowing another 5 in the process. The Padres dealt for 2/5 of a new rotation on Monday, adding Robbie Ray from the Giants and Casey Mize from the Tigers on deadline day. Those pitchers were desperately needed, as the rotation was basically Michael King and praying for 4 straight days of rain, which made the whiplash of the actual game played on Monday that much rougher. King got the start, but the Padres were just never quite in it thanks to the offense going quiet. First baseman Tim Tawa hit his 5th homer of the year in the 4th, giving Arizona a 3-0 lead in a game where King wasn't particularly sharp. He allowed 4 walks and 5 hits in just 5 innings of work. In the bottom of the 8th, Arizona scored 2 more, when catcher James McCann lashed an RBI single off reliever Wandy Peralta, who then also allowed a sac fly to make it 5-1 D-backs. That would be the final score, as Brandon Pfaadt held San Diego to 1 run over 6 2/3 innings, with just 3 strikeouts but also just 6 bases runners, and the Arizona pen took care of business the rest of the way. The Padres fell to 2 back of a wild card spot, while the Diamondbacks kept pace with the Phillies for the 2 wild cards they are tied for. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. isn't having a great season at the plate. It's August 4, and he has just 6 homers after a postseason in which he had 8, but the defense is still fun. Check out this spin move on a grounder to first that he didn't quite corral at first. The Blue Jays balanced selling with buying at the deadline, and on Monday, Toronto won against the Astros, a team it might very well be facing down for a wild card if the AL West race doesn't work out for Houston, 3-1. Guerrero went 0 for 4, but he did have this play to help out at least. Dalton Varsho was dealt to the Astros before Toronto matched up against them on Monday, but don't worry, that didn't immediately end the friendships he had with his now ex-teammates. Deadline day has to be really weird even before you consider some of these guys are walking to the clubhouse across the stadium. We'll have to wait and see if the Phillies plan to rearrange their entire defense to accommodate Luis Uriz's bat will work out, but on Monday, Philadelphia emerged victorious over the Nationals. It didn't look like it was going to go that way at first, though. Washington was up 3-0 after the top half of the 7th, and starting pitcher Andrew Alvarez was still out there for the bottom of the frame as he had allowed just 4 base runners to that point. Alvarez retired third baseman Alec Boehm to start the inning, but then hit right fielder Brian De La Cruz with a pitch and walked second baseman Bryson Stott. Alvarez exited for reliever Tom Cosgrove, who promptly walked left fielder Edmundo Sosa to bring up center fielder Derek Hill with the bases loaded. Hill saw 2 pitches and sent the second one, a sweeper that fooled no one, into the stands in left center. Oh yeah, that one merited the alternate camera, extended bat flip sequence replay. Bryce Harper, still at first base before the switch to the outfield to account for Uriz, would then hit a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 8th to give the Phillies some insurance. This one didn't count for as many runs as Hill's, but it went 433 feet with a 112.6 mph exit velocity, so you can admire it all the same. The Phillies would win 6-3, giving Philadelphia its 60th win of the season and allowing it to keep pace with the victorious D-backs in the NL wildcard race. It also let Philly go up another game on the Padres while staying 2 ahead of the Marlins, 3.5 in front of the Pirates and 4 in front of the Cardinals. The Nats fell to 5.5 back and are 3-7 in their last 10, selling some pieces in a race this crowded, as Washington did, probably wasn't the worst strategy. The Dodgers were swept by the Red Sox over the weekend and now have themselves a genuine losing streak after falling 10-5 to the Cubs on Monday. Los Angels got out ahead in a hurry when second baseman Tommy Edman hit a 3-run homer in the top of the first inning, but that ended up being the majority of the Dodgers' attack. Lefty starter Justin Robalski labored through this one for Los Angels, and not for very long. He gave up a 2-run homer to right fielder Seiya Suzuki in the first, then allowed the first home run of left fielder Kevin Alcantara's career in the second to put the Cubs up 4-3. Then allowed another 2-run homer in the third, this one to catcher Carson Kelly. Somehow, that wasn't all. Robalski allowed a 4th homer in the 5th to first baseman Michael Busch, and it was 7-4 Cubs at that point. Robalski has gotten rocked the last 2 times out now, with the Mariners scoring 5 runs on 4 homers in his final July start, and now 4 more and 7 runs by the Cubs in his 1st of August. The Cubs would get a few more and earn their 64th win of the year. That's more than all but one team in the American League, by the way. The Cubs are merely the first wildcard squad in the NL right now. With the Dodgers and Brewers both losing, Milwaukee fell to the Pirates. 4-3, the race to be the first MLB team to 70 wins will wait one more day. Both have 69 dubs, with the Brewers slightly ahead for the best record in MLB with one fewer defeat. Speaking of that Brewers loss and Pirates win, here's rookie right fielder Esmerlin Valdez in the bottom of the third, robbing third baseman David Hamilton of extra bases with a diving catch. Valdez had a 3-walk game on the other side of the ball and scored one of the Bucks' 3 runs in the W. The 22-year-old is batting .260-375-623 in 45 games. He's a huge part of the reason that, despite the problems this team has had with pitching, Pittsburgh has kept in this wild card race.